I'm Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour, and this is Fun with Photos. In today's Google Photos tutorial, I want to teach you a bit about face groups and albums, where they're similar, where they're different. They are a way to organize groups of photos. And I want to start with albums. So how do you make an album? Well, there's two ways. You can either start with the photos and make an album, or you can make an album and then add the photos. I like the first way. So we went scuba diving on Saturday, and I want to select a couple photos. So I'm going to select one, select two, select three, and then I click the plus. This is on the computer. I'll show you on the phone in a minute. I click the plus and say I want to make an album. And I want to make a new album. I don't want to add these to an existing album. New album, and you give it a title. And you click the check mark to be done. So I now have an album. Now, where did that album go? Well, on the web, it is under this option called Albums. So here is the Saturday Dive album that I just made. Now on the phone, you find albums under this menu item called Collections, and there is Albums, and there is the Saturday Dive album that I just made. But I want to show you how you can create this on the phone as well. So I'm going to delete this album. Now, have I deleted the photos inside the album? No, they are stored in your main Google Photos library. Albums are just ways to view a group together, a group that you specify. So let's try that again with the phone. I am now looking at my photos, and I can select by touch and hold. And as soon as it's selected, this Add To pops up. But I want to select a couple more. There, I have 4 selected now. I tap plus and album. One other difference on the phone, as soon as I touch album, it assumes I want to make a new album. So if that's not what you meant, you needed to make sure to select an existing album. And I will type Saturday Dive and check mark. So I now have this album under Collections and Albums. There is the Saturday Dive. Now you could also create a blank album from scratch on either the computer or the phone by tapping on the plus and album. Now I just have a blank album, and I can select photos to put in it. As I say, I prefer the selecting the photos first. So what if you wanted to make an album just of one person? So if I'm making an album of Jim, I might select that picture, and then I would select that picture and that picture, and then I could add to an album and Jim. But I have thousands of pictures of Jim. This is going to take me hours and hours and hours. Don't you think that maybe Google's AI might do a better job? And that is called face groupings, or people and pets. And on the phone, you find it under Collections and People and Pets. And there is Jim. And here are hundreds, maybe thousands of pictures where Jim is in the picture. How does Google Photos do that? It can recognize faces, and then it just says in another picture, oh, this face is the same as that face. And it puts them in this view. It's just a grouping, and it's not an official album. Under Collections on the phone, Collections and People and Pets versus Collections and Albums. Now on the computer, you have People and Pets under Explore, and there they are. And Albums has its own menu item called Albums. If you don't see people and pets, it might be because of a setting. So if you go to your settings, the gear wheel, and group similar faces, face groups, that must be on. If you don't even have the setting, you might be in a country that doesn't support it. This isn't available in all countries. On the phone, the setting is just in a slightly different place. You tap on your profile picture in the top right, Photos, Settings, and then Preferences, and Group Similar Faces, and that must be on. I want to show you a face grouping of my dog, Odie, what you can do when there are faces that don't match. So isn't that fun? You can have pets as the face group. So here is Odie, but this picture is not Odie. Well, I can fix that. You know, Google tries its best, but it makes a lot of mistakes when it comes to this face grouping. I can select it, not open it. Don't open it. That doesn't work. You have to select it, long press, touch and hold, and then this one also is not Odie. So I've selected two. That one is not Odie, and that one is not Odie. Touch the three dot and remove photos. All that does is remove it from the face grouping. It does not delete those pictures from your library. And it tries to learn, so you need to tell it that was the wrong animal, and submit. Now that is gone from there. Now, why would you want to have a grouping of one person's face? Well, there's several reasons. Maybe it's a person who is graduating college and you want to have a slideshow of all your pictures of them. Maybe it's a memorial service and you want to have a slideshow going. Maybe you just want to give a birthday present of a photo book of all the photos you have of you and this person. That's what the face grouping is for. For my mom's memorial service, I went to her face grouping, and I have thousands. I don't want all of these playing in a slideshow, so I'm going to make my own album. An album is something you have control over. This face grouping is an automatic feature of Google Photos. So I'll pick that one and that one, and I can just go through all of these until I have the selection that I think is good enough. Tap the plus and make an album. So you get the idea. An album is something that you have control over. You can decide what to put in it. You can take photos out of it. You can also ask Google to make an album that automatically collects all of the photos of a person, and then you can remove the ones you don't want. I think it's easier to go through and select the ones you do want. Another reason to make an album of all photos of a person is if you want to give that bunch of photos to the person. I've had several mothers and grandmothers ask me, how can I give all of the photos I have of my kids to them? How do I give all of my photos of somebody to that person? The key to this technique is that both you and the person you're giving the photos to must be using Google Photos. If you are, it's incredibly easy. Let me show you how. This could be done on a mobile device, but I think it'll be easier to see on the computer, so I'm on a web browser and I go to My Google Photos. The first thing is to find the face grouping of the person you want, because Google has already done most of the work for you. So this is Alan, and I'm going to be sending all of these photos to Alan. All I have to do is click where it says Share as Album. It's creating an album for me. I'll give the album a name, and then click Share up in the upper right. Notice because I'm starting with the face grouping, it's automatically adding new photos of that same face. That's cool. Now I just tell it who I want to send it to, and there's Alan right there. If the person you want isn't showing up immediately on your list, just start typing the name or email up here. Alan, and send. Now, Alan will be receiving a notice that you've sent this album of photos to him, but you can still make additions, changes, deletions. It will be dynamic. Whenever he opens it, he will see whatever you've done. So, for example, I have two of the same one. I'm going to remove this one from the album. I'm not deleting it from my library. I still have that picture, but no need to send him two. Lots of duplicates in here. So I'm just deleting a few. And now I click the three-dot menu and remove from album. And by the same token, I could add other pictures if there was pictures that didn't get included in the face grouping, or I want to send pictures of something else. What happens on Alan's end? So now I am signed into Google Photos with Alan's account. And if I look in the sharing section, I will see that album of Chris's photos of Alan. I can look at any of them I want. I can peruse the album to my heart's content, but they are not in my library until I save them. I could save just one picture. It is now copied to Alan's library. But if I am looking at the album and I click on this little cloud, Save Photos, now the entire album has been saved to Alan's library. They go in order by date taken. So if a photo was taken in 2010, it will show up down in 2010. So how is Alan going to see all the photos that I sent to him? You have to click on Explore. On a mobile, that would be Search, and then Recently Added. Now it has changed the photo order to show all the ones that were added today versus the ones that were taken today. Now it's easy to see all of the photos that were sent in that album, and Alan can make his own album. I click on one end, I shift click on the other. I have selected 52 pictures that were all added today, and I click the plus and make my own album, new album, and I will give it a name of Photos of Alan from Chris. And I have successfully now sent Alan all the pictures from my library, and he has copied them to his library.
Today's topic is web search and always on top, 2 power toys.
And we're down to power toys. I've talked about power toys before. If you don't know what power toys are, they're explained in this article, which is two down from that. And it talks about all the different power toys that are available. Power toys, let's see, Microsoft has been releasing more and more power toys for Windows 10 and 11. This open source project adds many powerful features to Windows, from a bulk file renamer to an Alt-Tab alternative that lets you search for Windows from your keyboard. There's how to get Microsoft Power Toys. This article tells you how to do it. You download it from the Microsoft Store, or you can get an installer directly from GitHub, which is owned by Microsoft, by the way, and enable the features you want from within the Power Toys settings. And you can launch Power Toys from your Start menu, and it will remain running in the background. Mine probably is running. I rebooted just before the show, so it may not be. So let's go take a look at Power Toys. And I have it right here. If I click it, sometimes error comes. Okay, this is Power Toys. And you've got several programs that it runs, and it's added some things this last time, and that's what the next article was about. Let's go and look at the back to the article here. And that's Power Toys adds web search and always on top. The always on top you get to by, let's see, you can, once you've got the Power Toys running, Windows key Control T. So let's say I've got, let me find something I've got running here. I've got this, let me minimize this. Oops, I didn't want to minimize it. I want to make it smaller. Make it so it's not full screen. We'll make it small. And let's say we wanted to have this on the screen all the time. But if I come over here, it's hidden. Well, what I can do, if I highlight the program, it's the one it's highlighted right now. I hit the Windows key and Control on my keyboard and the letter T. You can see that it put a little blue line around it. So even if I bring this forward and make this active, it's still covered up by this. And if I open up something else here, if I open up, let's see if I got something here that I can show. Well, here's a family picture. If I open this up, and notice that is still in front. No matter what I do, it stays on top. And it's an on-off switch. So I come back to this and I hit Windows Control T. That little blue line goes away, and it's now, if I bring this up, and it's now covering it. There are some times where you always want a particular window on top. It always gets lost, and you're working on a few things and you want that. This is a nice tool to be able to do that. The other thing that it mentioned in the article was that you can now search. Let's see, where is it here in the article? You can now search. Another big upgrade in this Power Toys is for the Power Toys Run tool. The replacement for Windows Run dialog box now includes the ability to search the web. A lot of times to get to the run command, you would come down here and just type in run, press enter, and you get the run command, and you can type anything in that. But if you use the one that's in the Power Toys, again, let's find the Power Toys, and we use the Power Toys run, we click that, and then, let's see, it's enabled. I did this, and I got to remember how I do this. Okay, enable it. So if I hit Alt and space, there we go. And if I hit question mark, then space, and then let's put in CFCS. Let's see what we get. We're going to get CFCSs, so we get all kinds of things, but not what we're looking for, of course. But you can see that it immediately took me out to the web. So at any time, all I have to do is Alt space, and I get a box. So if I put and then we find what we're looking for. Okay, so that works. I got to remember that Alt space if the Power Tools is running, and then put a double question mark, and then a space, and then what you're looking for, and it will go out to the web and find it. Otherwise, it's just a local search. Comments, questions? Anyone using Power Toys at all? You're very quiet today.
I put a few comments on the run command in chat.
I'm running some of them, Hewie, not all of them.
They're you know, and the idea is that they are powerful toys. If you want to play with them and try them, they're free. Doesn't cost anything to download and run the program. It's from Microsoft. You should be able to trust it. It is version 0.053, which means they aren't even up to version 1.0, and it's been around for years. But it's stuff that Microsoft employees play with and then share with us.
The Google Drive app is something you definitely should be using. The scanning feature now has an automatic mode that will capture your documents seamlessly and save them. It also converts them to a PDF format and even will do optical character recognition. If you're going to scan a document with your phone and you're not connected to the internet, there is an offline mode. This is something everyone should be using. Let me show you how easy this is. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we help seniors understand technology and scan their documents efficiently into Google Drive using the Google Drive app. Today I'm going to show you three things. I'm going to show you how you can take and scan a document with this new app. I'm going to tell you how you can use widgets to do this more effectively, particularly for storing receipts. And then I'm going to show you how you can integrate these apps into something like Quicken and bring the PDF format into another software. Yesterday, I bought a new refrigerator. I have the receipt here, and I'm going to scan this into a PDF format because I want to store this digitally. Now, in the old days, I used to take this, walk across my office to the other side, put it in a printer. I would then wander back over here, start the software. It would scan the document. I'd then have to convert it to PDF, and then I'd have to put it somewhere to store. I haven't done that for about 5 years because I use my phone. Nobody should be doing the old slow method of using a printer. Today, I'm going to show you the new Google Drive app that has a really incredible scanner in it that will automatically save to PDF and to your Google Drive and to the directory you want. We're then going to take this document that I will scan into Google Drive as a PDF to a specific file, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to easily and Quicken attach that PDF file to my transaction in that accounting software. So let's see how it's done. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to make sure you have the correct app. So you can go to the Play Store or you can go to the Apple Store and download the most recent version of the Google Drive app. And this is what it should look like. Download and install it. If you have a Pixel phone, it will be pre-installed and you don't need to download it. But make sure you have the updated app, which has recently been changed. Now, you'll need no other software. The Google Drive app scans your document for you. It will change it into PDF. It even will do optical character recognition. In other words, it will take an image and turn it into text. All that is built into the app. So let's see how it works. So here's the Google Drive app on my phone. I have my receipt on my desk, and I'm going to take my phone. I'm going to open the app up, and I'm going to hover over the receipt, and you'll see how it is going to take the picture. Now here you'll see me hovering over, trying to get on top of the scanned document, and you'll see I have it on auto capture. So you'll see a blue line come around the document, which means it is ready to scan. Now here you'll see the image is scanned, and we now can save it either as a PDF or as a JPEG. I've chosen PDF, and just below that, we've chosen the location on my Google Drive. I have a file called test. So one of the excellent applications of Google Drive, of course, is to scan and save receipts. Let me show you in this example how I've made some widgets and how these widgets can make your life real simple. So what is a widget? Well, a widget is like a macro or a series of commands. You're easily able to create these widgets on your phone. Now let me show you how that happens. But before I do that, I want to show you the example I've given you here. And these are some widgets I've made up on my Google Drive. So as you see here on my phone, as I expand this out, you'll see, of course, I have the test folder that we had, but I also have a folder for Mesa house expenses, and I have a folder for medical expenses. Now, When I push those buttons, I immediately get the Google Drive to scan the image and put it right in either the medical receipts folder or the Mesa house expenses folder, and you can make widgets up for a wide variety of things. There's no limit on what you can do. So the idea would be is as you're going around and you're taking images of your receipts, you can just simply choose the widget for whatever you want the receipt to go into that directory. So it just makes it real easy. You just hit the button and it'll put it right in the correct directory for you. And that's the power of a widget. So let me show you how to make them. So we're now on my phone. We're going to go to the Google Drive app and long press the Google Drive app, and you're going to see widgets come up. We're going to click widgets, and now we're going to come down and we have two choices. We're going to choose the Drive Scan widget. When we click this, we're going to be able to create the widget, and it's going to ask us what directory we want to place the image in. And we're going to choose, of course, I come down here and you'll see I've made one up for receipts, and I've put a folder called test in there. And when we click test, it's going to make the widget up and call it test. So the folder name is what the widget will be called. So the idea would be on your phone, you'd have a folder, and when you open that folder up, you would have a whole series of these buttons or widgets, and you could just, whatever receipt you thought it should go into, let's say an expense for the house or a medical expense, whatever folder you wanted, you just click the button. It would immediately auto scan your receipt and put it right in that folder for you on Google Drive, which of course would be available from any device. Now, suppose you're not connected to the internet, no problem. It just holds it on your phone and then it will sync it once you're back connected. So now let me show you how we can integrate this into Quicken, and let me show you how easy this is. All right, now we're in Quicken, and you'll see at the bottom on the blue line is the transaction for my new fridge. And as we move across to the right, you're going to see a little file image, and when I click that, we're going to be able to add a PDF file, which of course I stand into the test document. And so we're going to be able to add that as a file right into Quicken. Let me show you how that's done. So here we come over, and here's the file. We're going to click this, and it opens up, and you can see that we can scan a variety of things in here. And we choose this, we could certainly, we can actually take it from the clipboard, the scanner, or from a file on a hard drive. So we're going to bring up test, and here's the scanned image of my receipt. I just click that and say okay. It's now in there, and it actually stores it within Quicken. It's not just a link to the file, and we save it. It's that easy to attach a receipt to your transaction in Quicken. So stop using your printer as a scanner. That concept sailed away a long time ago. Use your phone for scanning. It's so easy, and with the updated Google Drive app, it's a snap. Make some widgets. You can easily put your receipts into different folders, and it even integrates with other programs. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video as much as I had making it.